Hello, I'm Dr. Faris AlHajri, discoverer and founder of hot water therapy. Everybody talk about peace. Everybody talk about his contribution to make this world a better world. Everybody talk about love, to be loved, to be appreciated, and so on. But what's going on with the world? What's going on with the world when you see people fight each other, people hate each other, people revenge by whatever reason? Who hate who? Who fight who? And who kill who, and for what? People have been fighting in the name of religion, or in the name of culture, or in the name of whatever it is. But the fact, when I did my intensive research from the time I discovered hot water therapy, I found very interesting. I found that we are just human beings, but the fact that we are like robots. We do not make use of our capacity that we possess, the power, the miracle within ourselves. When I did my research, I found very interesting that there are elements that control every tiny part of our body in all aspects, on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. The fact is, we are made up of 100 trillion cells. Even our hair, or any tiny part, even our nails, they all made up of cells. And these cells, they depend on these four essential elements of life to secure the growth, proper growth of these cells, and the body to get rid of the dead cells. We have, like for example, the white blood cells that control any foreign invader and swallow to get rid of them, control ourselves, our body inside. We have, for example, the hydrogen pools, and the largest of that in the liver, that control all the toxins in the body that we receive from foreign substances, like the environment, like the food preservative, and so on. And the hydrogen presence in the liver is to secure the liver to remain healthy and to get rid of all the toxins. The way we think, the way we perform, the way we store information, the way we act, the way we look at others, human being, I repeat, human being, we start to fear human. We start to get worried of human. We start to become suspicious to others. That's where things start to go wrong. Why? Why we cannot achieve what we're looking for? The reason, the missing of these elements. Take an example, the serotonin is a hormone that controls our moods. The adrenaline is a hormone that responds to panic and so on. Now, what makes us to think wrong or to act wrong, or not to think properly is the reason because we have a hormonal imbalance due to the lack of these essential elements of life. I diagnose to find what has made human being from the origin. Diagnose to find how he was properly complete in the shape he grown up in the womb of his mother, and when that baby, beautiful baby, is born, who is you were in a complete aspect, naturally. All these aspects, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But the reason, the more we grow, we start to lose these essential elements or part of them, and then things start to go wrong. Take an example from the physical side. Everybody wants to have a good body. Everybody wants to have a good shape. Everybody is talking about get rid of fat and so on, being slim, having a good body fit and so on. Everybody is talking about health. Everybody is talking about get rid of any diseases. But the fact is that these four essential elements, they play a big role to make us our body fit and away from disease, our body be capable to fight invaders or foreign microorganisms or diseases that cause diseases, so on, infections, and so on. Take on the emotional side, which I mentioned about the serotonin, the adrenaline, and so on, the hormones that control everything in our body. If we talk about the mental side, we have the brain that store information and perform miraculous duty. But what makes us not being capable of using our brain in a better shape? We have heard that top scientists, Nobel politicians, president, kings, those top Nobel, they use up to 13% of their brain. Whereas the normal people, they use only 8 to 10%. Come on, what's going on? Why we cannot use the more brain that we have the capacity to surpass that limit? How? Take an example of our brain consume 20% of energy, and that is the highest ever than any organ. And it receives 20% of oxygen, and that is the highest than any organ, more than the lungs or any other organs. Now, what makes the brain not to achieve, to perform more than we are meant to be genius. We are meant to do wonders. We are meant because we have the subconscious part that controls us, and that's supposed to correlate with the conscious part of our brain, and then control and lead, have correlation with the supernatural infinite intelligence in the universe by the divine power, or you name who you want to name, the power of God or power of whoever you want to call, whatever religion you belong. But here I mean the super intelligence, the infinite intelligence that control us, that we're supposed to correlate between our inner intelligence with that of the universal intelligence. Now, what impede that relationship is the lack of this element. Let's talk on the spiritual side. We see people who are spiritually touched in terms of religion or whatever, sectarian, and so on. And we see conflicts of human spread all over the world. Whenever we open the news, we get fed up of opening the news because we see events that nobody would like to see. People fight in the name of religion. Nobody would ever win a war under the name of religion. The reason that our spiritual instinct, the power of the spiritual power that we have in our body, in our brain, connected to that of the infinite intelligence, is impeded by the lack of these four essential elements. Now, everybody wants to be in full aspects, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Go back to the way you were grown in the womb of your mother. I repeat, without any exemption. All human beings, from the beginning of time, every human being came from the womb of his mother, and for all the fetal development time has taken place with the existing of those four essential elements of life. They are water, hydrogen, oxygen, energy. All these four essential elements have taken place through the presence of the amniotic fluid, or the amni. Simply, amniotic fluid is hot water because it's composed of 99% water and hot at temperature of 37.5 degrees Celsius. We can convert that to Fahrenheit, which is 1 degree Celsius higher than the normal mother's temperature. Our body's temperature, whether we are in the North Pole, minus 50 degrees Celsius, or in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the desert, 50 degrees Celsius, our body temperature always gets regulated constantly at 36.5 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. If it goes up or goes below, then we face problem of something wrong with our body. We can face problem of hypothermia or hypothermia. Means more temperature than our body, normal temperature, or below, and that could endanger if it increase, and that could lead to death if it increase more than specific temperature. Now, who has made that hot water in the womb of the mother of every single mother? That happened naturally by the divine power that control us. We live in a world of miracles, surrounded by miracles. We cannot see them, but surely we can feel, or we do surely feel and sense these miracles, for they are here to protect us, not to destroy nor harm us. Thank you.